Well, one for all and all for one. And all we want is to have some fun. I would squeeze my property. Yeah, you're looking to rumble, you're looking at me, cause I'm the king. I'm a king. King cry baby. I'm a king. King cry baby. A king cry baby with a tear in my eye. Cry, a baby cry, a baby cry, a baby cry, a baby cry. Wow! And I was born on the wrong side of the tracks. In the backseat of the stolen Cadillac. I had my first cigarette before I could walk. And I've been strumming this guitar before I could talk, cause I'm the king. Yeah, I'm the king. I'm a king. A king cry baby with a tear in my eye. Cry, a baby cry. Sing. Ain't got a rainbow crown for you. Well, if I had your love, I'd live in this cloud, baby blue. She's a queen. She's a queen. She's a queen.
Let people talk, I don't care. Let me prove to you, daddy, that I ain't no square.
You be my queen and I'll be your king. Yeah, but if you leave my hide, gonna feel my stink. You're my queen. I king queen. I king cry baby with the queen on my side. Hey, when you gonna cry, oh baby.
I just felt that was fitting because we have so many king crybabies on these YouTube streets as of late. Is my mic working? Testing. Oh, yeah, there it is. Couldn't see my little bubble moving. So, guys, hello, good morning. So, hi, whoever's in here. I can't see the chat at the moment, and I feel like my connection's bad, but I don't know. I need somebody to tell me if it sounds okay. So, I have been bit by the Karen Reed bug, so I felt it necessary to fire up a stream to talk about it because I just need people's opinions. I'm curious where everybody stands. I felt like the last 8 days, well, there's been 9 days of trial so far, and I feel like the first 8 were really slow moving, but yesterday was pretty good. So hence the title. Do you find it boring? It's just a lot of repetitive questions, and I know people have different opinions on why that is the way the prosecution is pursuing the case or the way they're working the case, whatever. But like I don't need to know about the weather and the who's like I feel like we've beaten a dead horse here with certain things. So I figured today we could talk a little bit about that. I'm going to drop I will message you the link. I'm not going to drop it. And then we can discuss it. There's been some other things too, which I've been debating whether or not to mention it. I see that. Oh, hey Tommy. Hey Freeside. I can see chat now. I see that it's still, but he was ending his stream like 4 hours ago. I don't know. He's mad at me because hell is that beeping? I questioned him on an accusation that he made. I think Alex might have touched on it last night. Just didn't like that. I heard he recanted though and switched up his words a little bit. But he just doesn't really like to be challenged, and then he thinks that when you challenge him, it's automatically means you like side with his ops, which is just weird to me. A lot of people around here do that. Like they're not mutually exclusive. I mean, you can disagree with two people's actions at the same time and not necessarily agree with either one of them. Does that make sense? So I don't know. Everybody's distracted by that. I guess I was still going, but I figured today a little bit. I might have some clips we can watch that I thought were kind of compelling. I wanted to see if anybody else saw. I think I could find the clip. It's pretty wild. Of does anybody know who Vegan Patriot is? He's an IRL streamer. I don't really follow the IRL community that much, but I killed it. And she literally hit a person while streaming, driving her car. Should we watch that? Let me try to find it. Hold on. We can watch that because it's pretty. Let's see. YouTube. Let's see. I feel like my I keep getting that like little bubble for the connection, but I don't know if that means it's good, bad, or different. Like I can never tell when I go back and listen. Okay, let's see. Vegan Patriot runs somebody over, basically. Let's try to find the clip. It's like a 2-minute clip. This one's too long. I need to find the quick one. Okay. I forget which. Hey, CC, I forget which channel had it. Let me find it, and then I'll share it. Just because it's like, it's so bad. Okay, nope, that's runs over curb. Oh, she's pretty. She's like very distracted driver. Apparently, she has a history of this, and doesn't learn her lessons. I'm gonna have to pull it from where I sent the link. So anyway, while I'm doing that, I think there was some interesting things that came up with the Karen Reed stuff. So we heard Brian Albert. I really can relate to the Alberts family. I don't know why. It just kind of reminds me of like the way I grew up in like a small town where even as an adult, like you run into the same people everywhere you go. It doesn't necessarily mean like you're friends with them or that you hang out with them or there's this like intimate relationship with them, but you know them and you see them. So something about their testimony, like just it really, her testimony in particular really like solidified things for me. But the dog, right? So can we finally put that stupid conspiracy to bed about this dog attacking John O'Keefe and them covering it up? Like, my God, even the way they tried to turn this dog fight into a dog that like was aggressive towards humans and all these like multiple incidences, which we know now is not true. So I thought it was good that they were able to bring that up and kind of shed some light on that. All right, so let's see here. Also, I think it was really interesting how I keep forgetting what's Brian Albert's wife's name. Was it Nicole? Why can't I remember her name? But either way, talking about like the timing. Hey, Radio Gaga, and that her daughter was the last person to leave. She went into bed. She was woken up out of a dead sleep. Like I was glad to hear that testimony. I think that's when things really started to pick up for me, like just being a listener to the trial. Oh, and then we had Turtle Boy being escorted out of the courtroom and not being able to be present for certain witnesses' testimonies. So that's another question I have for y'all. Is it Jennifer Why does that not sound familiar? Was it Jennifer? No, Jennifer McCabe isn't that the that's Jennifer McCabe. This is Brian Albert's wife, the one that finished up yesterday his testimony. His wife was before him. If Cece's here, he'll correct me. I know there's a lot of people. I forget the total count of witnesses, but there's a lot. But it has definitely picked up for me. Yeah, no, there's so many people involved. They're all related in one way or another. Brian and Nicole. Nicole. Okay, so it was Nicole. Thank you. And but I just think they're telling the truth. I think their testimony is sincere. Like my here's my concern when I titled the stream is the trial boring or not. I just hope they don't lose the jury in all the minutia. Because like you kind of, after hearing hours and hours of testimony about the weather, about the bar, about the time they left the bar, about this, that, phone calls, you kind of lose the meat and potatoes of why we're here. Alex, it's okay. You did miss my intro, King Crybaby. I forgot that song even existed, and then I Googled King Crybaby to see if there was like some sort of little ditty out there, and then I remembered from the movie Crybaby, he sings about being King Crybaby. So I just felt it very fitting for the current state of affairs. Don't ever feel bad about being late, ever. I'm not going to be on here too long, but I do think, yeah, medic and firefighter overload. Yeah, there was a lot of testimony from them. I think it was important, though, to hear that because that's when she initially confessed. No, babe, I know. Let me wrench you. I'll do that from the YouTube side in a second. All right, hold on a second, guys. Okay. Do it upstairs. Sorry, we're talking makeup. So, it is a good trial though, Summer Moon. If like it has been interesting, but it does get a little bit repetitive, and Yanetti's way of questioning is like almost, oh my god, dude, we get it. Like you've asked the same question 6 different ways, you've gotten the same answer. Enough. But I was impressed with yesterday. I'm very looking forward to next week. I'm looking forward to the experts. I just want them to clarify that I don't know if this is going to come up, but that there's no animal DNA on this man's body. He was not bit by a dog. Explain like the injuries, explain like how this could have happened. Like I said, I just hate to see them lose the jury in the minutia. Because it is a lot. It's information overload almost. And I know how I get with information overload. I would make a terrible witness also, let me say, because these questions that they asked them 2 years ago to try to remember where people were sitting at a table in a dining room at an after party after partying at a bar, like I would never be able to answer that. I think that they're very relatable. Cece, like all of the people that have the everyday people, you know what I mean? Like the Alberts and stuff. I don't know. I just found something about them. I just trust them. Oh, and then okay, what's everybody's opinion on what happened with Turtle Boy? So here's my thing. Am I imagining this? Didn't he not too long ago do a live stream where he was threatening, I say threatening, like threatening the jurors to like basically dox them? Like didn't he, I don't know exactly the language he used, so I don't want to misquote it, but I'm almost certain he had made threats to this specific jury during a live stream. Yeah, well, they're big on that. Like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes makes a world of a difference. It's a murder investigation. It's like I don't know that it does. He did, right? Like I feel like there was something said about the jury. I just feel like that alone, regardless of even if he didn't have this intimidation charges and stuff, would still be enough. Yes, but didn't he also say something about this jury specifically, or am I just mixing them up? Maybe. But either way, I think that he's a liability to keeping the jury safe, which I think is important. This is already such like an incestuous case in the sense that like the town is small, everybody knows everybody. The jury pool was, and we're not talking about New York City here. Like I just feel like they're already a risk to these people from the cult. that really believes after all of this that this woman is still innocent and there is some master conspiracy to frame her. It's just mind-blowing. But anyway, so that I think there's a lot to be spoken about when it comes to the Reed stuff, and I really am enjoying watching it, and I am enjoying the panels. Like Queen Bee's been doing some stuff on it, so it's interesting listening to like Cece's been up there, B Tim, a couple other people, Queen of course, talking about their feelings on the case. It's just it's a good case, I guess. It's already been so social media driven, but it is a good case for this sort of stuff. Yeah, right? I feel like he did, Cece. There was definitely some innuendo to that. I just don't want to misspeak. So, that's what I mean. And that's the other, thank you for saying that because it made me think of another thought. That is the other side of this. Every single person that has been a witness so far, the defense has tried to tie them into some relationship with somebody else, which gives cause to like be part of this huge lie. And it's insane. When I know I spoke about this last time I was live, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more today. The paramedic, the female paramedic, who the defense was trying to tie into being like besties with Caitlin Albert. I think her name was Caitlin too. I was literally sitting there thinking, like, okay, 15, 20 years ago, the people that I hung out with are completely different people, most of them, than I hang out with today. My social life was different. Like, I did things. I've traveled with my husband, just the two of us, and ran into friends like down in Delray Beach, and from his like certain time of his life, and seen people we haven't seen forever, hung out with them, had drinks with them, took pictures with them, and I haven't spoken to them again since then, right? Like, it's just frustrating to listen to them try to like make that such a sticking point when the reality is like sometimes humans just like we are social creatures that interact with people, and sometimes it's nothing more than what it is on the surface. A photo, a baby shower. I go to a baby shower locally, and there's people there from high school. There's people there that I haven't seen in 10 years, and I give them a big hug. Good to see you. Like, give me a break. Yeah, definitely watch. I mean, there's just a lot each day. So we're on day 9. But I would definitely listen to the first couple. I mean, you listen to it all if you can, but it's pretty it's I think what makes it so interesting. I don't think this is a very complicated whodunit, in my opinion. That's not what makes this so captivating. I think it's this insane conspiracy that the defense has come up with and all these different stories, and then the Turtle Boy factor. I think that's what makes it so interesting. So so what else? What else has been going on? I feel like I wanted to find that vegan patriot clip. I shared it in Discord. And I can't find that little 2-minute clip. And it doesn't matter if somebody unless you post it in chat. If somebody can grab it from there. Because that was such a good. I mean, this girl is a hot mess. Like, I had never heard of her till the other day, and then I found all this stuff on her, and I was like, holy smokes. I'm trying to think of the channel. Oh, I could just go look. What's wrong with me? Yeah. All right, you guys talk amongst yourselves. Excuse me. While I find this link to this insanity of somebody driving over somebody while live streaming. Okay, let's look now. Where did I put it? Because I know I tagged Vital in it. Okay, Vegan Patriot hits... okay, Will Heron. Let's look for it. Okay. Let's find it. Might not... maybe I'm not signed in. That's why. No, it's not Willie. Oh, God. Audie. It's... wait. Okay, let's... okay, here we go. Oh, so it's even... let's see, what's the full video? The full video is 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So let me pause this. We're going to start it over. I'm going to share it so that y'all can see this craziness. All right, let's see. Share screen. I'm getting good at this, guys. I'm getting better. Okay. Mute myself so I don't screw up. Oops, wrong button.
Let's hear those voices. They're not fake, but I wonder sometimes. Does hear those voices. They're not fake, but I wonder sometimes. Oh my God, are you okay?
No.
I didn't see her.
Why are you not looking?
I was looking. I didn't see you.
What the fuck?
I'm telling you, I did not see you.
Okay, Ann. What the fuck?
Just tell me how I can help.
Well, I don't know. I'm
Okay.
not gonna
Oh,
have
okay.
Where's my phone?
Okay. Oh my God, you guys. I don't know what just happened, but it wasn't good. I'm trying to... Where do you want me to go? I plan on it. Can I park? All right, guys. Here's your content for...
Oops, sorry. So that was wild to me. Like, I was blown away by watching that, because how many times have we, okay, now I have seen probably 3 different people live streaming driving and causing some sort of an accident, be it hitting a car, hitting a person now. Yes, she just hit them. So she went of course, then this open Pandora. I was down the rabbit hole at this point, and I found some other stuff on her. And she is like a typical IRL streamer. Like, I think she was dating Chicken Andy and part of that whole like camper people living, RV living stuff. But they're in LA, I think. And yeah, so then she went live after this, like a little bit later, parked in her car, smoking marijuana, and then just saying, like, everybody's fine, everything's fine, she's okay. It wasn't a child, it was an adult, because originally they were saying it was a child. And then, yeah. Okay, I'm on it. Okay, yeah. Yep. I'm a come in. Hold on. So so that really had me, because the fascinating part was, let me tell you where I first heard this, okay? The first place that I heard about this story about her hitting somebody, ironically enough, was on Controlla. And she yeah, so it was on Controlla's stream. Meanwhile, she did something very similar, right? Because she was in a car accident. I'm getting it, Cece. Hold on. She was in a car accident while driving with her kid in the car, which, like, I know we're like trying to not talk about kids, which, oh, that kind of, well, no, maybe I shouldn't even mention it, but yeah. And then you know, she was saying, oh, and I thought what was funny about it, because even Control was like, well, if anybody could learn from my mistakes, like, let me be a cautionary tale that we shouldn't be streaming and driving, but she still does it.
Hey.
Hey, Cece, sorry, the baby just came like right up in my headphones and was like, "Hi, friend." So
Yeah,
I don't. Go ahead.
can we accept that, like, talking on the phone is bad enough when you're driving, where somebody's responding to you verbally? When you are driving and live streaming, you are paying attention to the chat. I don't care who you are. I don't believe anyone doesn't pay attention to the chat.
Without a doubt.
That is distracted driving. And at the very least, you're going to run into someone or something.
Luckily, in LA.
Yeah,
like where it's
luckily,
already so
insane.
congested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't
It's
sound like it was that bad. Whoever she
mm-mm.
hit was sitting there going, "Oh my god, what the fuck did you do? Oh my god, you look totally hit me." Ah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it doesn't sound that bad, but still, you shouldn't put the phone down if you're gonna drive, people.
I mean, even for nothing else, like from like, okay, let's assume this person's okay. Hopefully, right? Nobody's hurt severely, but like, even from a legal standpoint, like you live streamed yourself doing this. There is
Uh-huh.
no denying it. Like, you have no defense in this, and like, you could be held. I mean, civilly be responsible, if not legally. And it just never ceases to amaze me. I mean, it's the live streaming, looking at chat, responding to chat, the TTS, all that talk to text, and like feeding into that all while driving. I can't
I mean,
even. I don't know. It's insane.
think about when Rebel plowed into the back of that
I
chick's
know.
car, and he actually the camera was on him. He looked down at his phone, looked at his chat to read his chat and yell at somebody and hit a car. And then he immediately goes, "Oh my god, you people made me hit the car." Nobody
Yeah.
made you be live streaming while you were driving. None of these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it is like I watch people checking their phones. They can't even tell a light turned green and will sit there while cars around them are driving and just sit there zoomed in on their phone. If you can't even tell the light turn green at a stop, I don't trust you to be driving while you're looking at your phone. I just don't.
Absolutely
Like, put
not.
your phones down. Put your
And she
fucking
did it
phones
again.
down.
That same person, this vegan patriot, has probably been live for 24 hours because they are like part of that IRL community, like the Chicken Andy community and all that stuff. So she comes from over there. Anyway, so they're already reckless as hell, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
she was live streaming again. She's got her chihuahua like jumping around the car while she's driving, shitting in the back seat.
Oh,
and
that's
she's
another
got
one that drives me nuts.
Yes, and she's got the phone in her lap while she's streaming. Hey, Matt.
Very few things enrage me as much as people being irresponsible driving a 3,000-pound bomb around. But one of them is like when I see people drive by with dogs in their lap, like unrestrained dogs standing in their lap with their head out the window. I'm like, number one, if you hit something, your dog is going to be sausage between you and the steering wheel. And number two, the dog is jumping around, it's barking, it's running back and forth. You're 100% not paying attention to what the hell's going on. Like, think. It takes a split second to fuck up in a car and you're ending someone's life.
Yep. And it's speaking of cars and ending people's lives. I know that you have a lot to contribute to the Karen stuff because you've been following it closely. Do you feel like the pace has picked up, or do you feel like it's still sort of steady?
You know, what, if any, sort of improvement is going on with the case right now? Lally's delivery could be better. Yeah, I think we're through the establishment phase of it. I think we've now had every first responder that even drove by the place has now testified to how much snow, would you say, if any, was on the ground and where they think he was found, and established that he was at the far corner of the yard, and established that there were no footprints showing anywhere on the property other than where they responded to. So I think that was a basis that they needed to lay down, because you got to remember they're working from behind, though. The prosecution is trying to work from behind a year and a half of Turtle Boy spreading false narratives and publishing third-party third-party defense issue, claiming there was a dog and a kid and a UFO and Bigfoot and a fight and all this other shit, misinterpreting. And here's where people go, it's just the truth. If it's just the truth, why did they need to retone the pictures of the taillight, retone the pictures of the autopsy photos before they leaked them to the press? If you look at the picture that was shown in court the other day versus the picture that's been on the internet for a year, you'll see that on the real one that's normally colored, they don't look like bites at all. But if you adjust the color and contrast a lot to make it much darker, they look much deeper and much fresher. And same thing with the taillight pictures in the garage. They altered the look to try and push a narrative. And that's what the defense is actively trying, or the prosecution is trying to fight against. Sorry,
to debunk. No, I was going to say, and just confirm this, because I think I can say with certainty this was done, but I don't even know if this was admissible. I thought there was no animal DNA anyway found on those bites. Is that correct?
Okay, so
or supposed not bites, but what they're claiming is a bite. That there was.
he was never swabbed for animal DNA.
Okay.
After his body had been released to the family, basically,
Yeah.
to the funeral home, the defense, well after, the defense put in a motion that said that to preserve any wound swabs that were done for DNA
Okay.
testing.
Okay.
None were ever done. So it's not like anything could be preserved because they never did it, because they never assumed it was an animal bite.
Sure.
And again, we're dealing with like this is not NYPD. This
I was
is
just
not
gonna say that we're not the. It's
you know,
not the
LAPD.
NCIS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a small town
Um,
where I heard the one police officer testify. He has never in his career, I think it was I don't know if it was the one that
23
testified.
years.
23
It was,
years, right?
Link.
Ever
Or
had
wasn't
a,
it Lank?
Yeah, it was before Officer
Yeah,
Good.
I think it
whoever
was
that
Lank. Yeah, 23 years, never handled a murder.
Never. So like you're talking about a small town that I think when somebody was researching it, said that I think it was Yellow Cottage when he was streaming with Kate. Since they've never had a murder case in since 2018 maybe, or 18 years or something like that.
Right.
There's these police officers are people that are probably responding to like maybe a B&E, maybe a DV call, and then like, the everyday stuff like a kid shoplifting. I don't know. But they're not, like you said, they're not LAPD. They're not New York City officers. They're not dealing with this every day. They're not going to have the same tools available immediately that some of these other, big cities may have. And to think that they're clever enough, and I'm not saying these are not intelligent people, but it would take a lot of sophistication, a lot of people involved, probably a lot of money to coordinate this ridiculous conspiracy that goes, frankly, all the way to the top, right? All would have to go all the way up to the FBI level because they're involved as well.
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
state
because
police.
the FBI dropped a 3,400 or whatever 3,100 page document with no exculpatory evidence in it. Yeah, no, there's no conspiracy. The FBI didn't find anything. The feds aren't coming. Sean on the Gulf, who has been saying for 6 months now that tomorrow everybody's getting arrested and indicted for no reason that he can articulate. Now, she backed into him with the car.
That's what I think. I think she didn't. I
She
don't
broke
think
her
it was.
tail light on him.
Yeah.
He hit
I
his
don't-
head on something and he died in the yard. That's
Yeah.
what happened.
And I don't think it was intentional or premeditated. My theory all along was like they were both drinking. They got into some verbal fight as they pulled up to the house. He jumped out. She sped off or tried to speed off, backed up, whacked him. Probably didn't. Maybe she didn't realize it until after the fact. But I don't doubt for a second that it wasn't some premeditated murder. I am certain, though. I feel confident based on what we know that they never went in that house. I really believed the Albert's testimony.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't know if it'll be admitted or not, but people have talked to some of Karen's exes. She went after one of her ex-boyfriends with a knife at one point. There was a neighbor who had a dog that was barking in their yard while they were gardening, and she said if they didn't shut their dog up, she'd drive over it with a car. I mean, Karen's not the sweet, innocent, demure
Wallflower
professor that everybody's. And this other bullshit, like what Yannetti got the guy in the back of the AMBO to testify that she let them know that she had MS. Watch her. That day when she left the courtroom, she needed to lean on somebody. She crip walked down the stairs and down the sidewalk. Next day, she's at high, bouncing, waving to everybody, stopping to kiss babies and shake hands.
Yeah, since I've been watching it more like dedicated, she has always looked perfectly fit walking in. I've seen her from outside the courthouse into the courthouse. I didn't even know this had come up about the MS.
Yep. The day the MS came up, she limped out of the courthouse.
Which means nothing in the end. That doesn't change the fact that she could hit somebody with her car. We just, watch somebody do it unrelated. But I mean, what does that have to do with anything? What does that? I mean, I understand what yes, and I understand that the defense, they have a job to do, and their job is to just create enough doubt that of course, we want the jury to convict people based on facts and that they're certain that this person did X, Y, or Z. And the defense just has to create enough confusion and enough chaos for them to be like, what the hell? Like, we cannot.
If you look at your chat, there's the problem with this case right there. 13 Kings, who is a
I know.
long-time turtle sucker and gobbler of the goblin goo, says there are two sides in this argument: those who know she is innocent and those who hate Turtle Boy. Pathetic. So it's the worst. Turtle Boy has the worst fucking case of main character syndrome I have ever seen in my life.
Oh my god!
Dude,
I was on Twitter
you're
last
a
night.
shitty
I was laughing.
blogger. You're a shitty blogger who calls yourself daddy and makes shirts with pictures of your mugshot on it. It says "Daddy's ready to fuck," where you look like a chomo in the mugshot, to be honest.
Ugh.
And you think that the only reason people think Karen's guilty is because they hate you? No, they think Karen's guilty because all of the evidence points
It's
to Karen
Occam's
being guilty.
razor. I mean, if nothing else, it just if you follow everything from the beginning to the end, it just makes sense. And I'll tell you something, 13 Kings. I really never had a vested interest in Turtle Boy one way or another. I like knew who he was. I didn't like his personality, but if I thought he was putting out facts and creating a good argument for someone based on a case, I wouldn't certainly change my thought on something just because of him. I just think he has only contributed to the chaos in this case, but he's not. My opinion is, and I think most people, you can't honestly believe that there's some sort of that these people because they were play fighting in a bar. I love that line of questioning from Little,
Yeah.
right? Or what's her name? Not Little. What's the
No,
female?
it's Little.
It
Elizabeth
is Little.
Little.
Oh, Elizabeth
Yep.
Little. Okay, thank you. When she was like, practice fighting, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. I watched my husband do this with his buddies out by the fire pit, out places.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
they were hugging
I-
afterwards. Like, you've got to be kidding me.
I think they were dry humping at one point. Like I have to think that none of these people actually have friends in real life.
Or-
they
yeah.
don't have people they could go out to a bar with and then go back to their house afterwards if they don't understand what was going on there.
Yeah, it was
I mean, it's-
it was so obvious. It was so silly to even bring attention to it.
Also, if you watch that video of them practice fighting, if that's the way they fight, both of them could be beaten by a moderately wobbly coat rack. I mean, come on, that wasn't even close to fighting. 13 Kings, you gobble the goblin goo. Fuck off. You're a turtle rider. Everybody knows it. You get no respect. You're a chat monkey that just runs around and repeats whatever that pointy-toothed little retard says. Get fucked.
And I have to say, 13 Kings, I'm not a big Twitter person, and I don't know if you are either, 13 Kings, but in my limited interactions, which I thought I was being fairly respectful and just asking questions and commentating on some conversations like everybody else, the people that tend to be the Turtle Boy supporters, they immediately go for like ad hominem attacks and attacking me or attacking the other commenters. Nothing about the case. So
yeah, if you have
juvenile,
a negative,
I mean,
if you
come
have a
on.
negative opinion on the case, the first comment is, "Which Turtle Boy blog are you in?" Like, you realize that Turtle Boy himself, Turtle Boy himself is now worse than most of the ratchets that he's featured in his blog. He's got like 18 charges against him, most of them felonies, and probably more coming because he doesn't know when to stop. So,
and I think hiding
about who
behind
you're following.
Yeah, and hiding behind the first, like, freedom of the press and the freedom of the speech, hiding behind that has totally, you have almost molested what it actually stands for, because you can't. It's like that saying, like, you can say what you want, but you're not like free of consequences from saying those things, right? Like, yes, but when you cross the line into intimidation, that is a crime. That has absolutely nothing to do with free speech. When you are stalking, berating these people that have to go and testify in a case, like, just shut your mouth. You could still cover it without doing that and bring attention to your cause. But
he's hypocritical as fuck about it. He's hypocritical as fuck. He walked up to people's doorways filming. He rang their doorbell. He filmed in through their front door and then said that they were scared of him because they wouldn't answer the door. They're afraid of Turtle Boy. But somebody walked up filming to his house and he got an HO on them. So just saying, Turtle Boy's the biggest pussy out there as far as this goes. He keeps claiming anyone who wants to get him to stop harassing them is afraid of him, but he gets HOs on women.
Yeah, there's no, I feel like it's almost, I don't even think he genuinely cares about any of this. I think this is mainly a publicity stunt for him. He's getting the attention he wants. Whatever happened in that courtroom yesterday had to happen, but it also just, I saw all the different news outlets covering it. I saw like he's getting what he wants out of it too. I don't think in the end he really cares what happens to Karen. I don't think he really cares about getting justice for John O'Keefe. I think it's all about growing his blog.
He made
or
money. He
YouTube.
made
Yeah,
money.
making
Look,
money. Yeah, making money.
he claimed he never got paid. I hope that there's no receipts that proves he's lying. But Nick Rocco has now admitted that he's basically a paid consultant. Richie from Microdots has admitted that he's basically a paid
I
consultant.
heard about the Microdots guy. Yeah.
Boundless Millennial has said that he knows for a fact that Jackson was shopping this to the true crime
Ooh,
shopping
interesting.
his side. Well, yeah, Boundless says a year and a half ago, if you watch his stream from I think it was last night, he did a not the sidebar, but he did a recap stream because he said nobody's really recapping the case, and he's right.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he heard about it because other people in that sphere were coming to him and going, "Hey, Alan Jackson's been contacting people with this potential story about a case he has." So this was all a very correlated effort to get this out in the public eye and try this in the media. And it has fucking backfired on them big time because they brought up the Nebercracker shit. So Karen gave that story to Turtle Boy, and instead of researching it, he just ran with it. If he had researched it,
the
he would have
yard
known
thing,
that
the guy in the yard thing. Yeah.
if he had researched it, he would have known that it wasn't Colin that walked across John's yard. He would have known that when John found out about it, he immediately apologized because it was a joke and brought the kid he called to find out what the kid's favorite candy was and brought him bags of candy.
And we're talking about how many years ago did this happen with the yard
7
thing? Yeah. So,
7.
I mean, if they were also angry about him yelling at the kid, I mean, I would think they would have retaliated 7 years ago. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I would think if they were angry about him yelling at the kid, they wouldn't like look. Chris makes no bones about throwing people out of his pizza shop. We've seen him do it on film like a half a dozen times since this started. So if he's that angry at John, would he be having him in for a slice often? I don't think so. I just don't think so. I think if there was any animosity there at all, it would have been noted by someone. Jamie, I have a feeling the only thing that causes eyebrows like that is your IPAs, sweetie.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Kimmy's here now. So if, I mean, I did kind of want to touch a little bit, and I know you were there last night for watching, like, I don't know how much of the Maine Noodles history you know, but I do think that there was one thing that did not get enough attention regarding that, and that was the bidet. morbid purchasing and installing a bidet for Maine Noodles visit, as well as the blackout curtains.
Timu shit. You know that was some Timu shit that washed the ceiling.
Oh yeah, it was like the plastic pipe that just shoots straight up that you put onto the back of you hook up to your sink or some crap. I don't know, but that was. I mean, she is a wild one. She here's the thing. She's not the only one. I noticed this happens all the time on YouTube, and I'm sure it happens on all the streaming platforms, Rumble, wherever, TikTok. You get these people that stream. I mean, Turtle Boy does it. This is just can tie into that. People that stream a lot. They cover a lot of different things, or they share their entire life. They're streaming 24/7, but then pitch a fit when other people that stream cover that content, even fair use, using it fairly, right? They pitch a fit and can't handle that being commentated on, and that she's a very good example of that. Hence her mass striking of anybody that shows any of her bad behaviors or commentates on them. She'll probably strike me for saying May Noodles. Who the hell knows? But she's a wacko, man. She is one. I don't even know who to compare it to. She is just one strange bird.
So we can add her to the list of wackos because I mean I'm seeing more and more of these. Like, I thought our side had some lunatics with the 1A, the 1A holster sniffers. But now that I'm seeing the people that are in the true crime averse, and now that I've run across and dealt with or been exposed to some of these people, like I said, Glare, JLR, Morbid, Nicolina, some of these people that ostensibly are true crime, they're crazy.
True crime, yeah.
They're fucking nuts, bro.
And these are the people that also, if they start in true crime, like you have to think that they also kind of have an eye for or want to have an eye for investigative things. So they're already natural diggers. So when they go, I mean, this is how I always felt it, especially in Krama. Like these are people that don't miss an opportunity to what is that app called where you can like well, there's a million of them, I'm sure, but there's a very
Been
popular one
verified.
yes, that will just Ben verify everybody's name that they get and then hold on to that for the right moment. Like it
Yep.
is really gotten bad.
What
But
is
the
Boundless? Boundless calls it lunch lady research. He's like, this is what bored lunch ladies do in the morning before they go to
yeah,
work. Is they
yeah,
look this shit up and then decide they've solved the case.
yeah, or or they're digging on everybody else. You know what I mean? Like they
Well,
are
yeah.
digging on the people that are commentating or covering whatever it is. The opposition, that becomes their new project, right? Hold on a second, I gotta do something. Okay. So yeah, it's been a you know, it's been an interesting time around these parts. There's just been like a lot of really, I don't know, maybe I do this too and just don't realize it. I hope I don't, but there's just I have just feel like I've encountered the most unself-aware people. Like these people lately have zero self-awareness. It's like, do they go back and listen to themselves when they're on their streams ranting,
No.
raving, boo-hooing?
No.
And it's like, wait a second, you are crying about exactly what you're doing. Like this is crazy. Oh gosh, just a bunch of
Yeah, no,
nutters,
they don't listen.
bunch of
There's
dingleberries.
so it's taken me a while, and I still can't figure out whether people are actually have that level of inability to read a joke as a joke, and they will take something that's an obvious joke and run and complain that somebody said something in earnest that was clearly
Yes,
in
yes,
context, it's clearly a joke.
yes,
Or
yes,
if they're just using that as an excuse, they know damn well it was a joke, and they figure if they just present it a certain way, their chat will get up with torches and pitchforks and do what
and
they
I
want and
think
throw money at them.
I like to think I would hope, but I think it's the latter. I think people do recognize that sometimes things are a joke or somebody's just being facetious or trolling even to a certain degree, but they need an enemy. We need a victim and we need a villain, right? That's
Well,
what
like
that's what
I will give
gets
I will give you a
clicks and
perfect
views.
example. STL at one point, Bones was fucking with him, and STL said, "You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a 2-inch piece of plastic pipe. I'm going to lube it up with plumber's putty. I'm going to jam it up your ass, and then I'm going to shove Hot Wheels cars up it until your ass is full of Hot Wheels cars." Okay,
Kind of remember
it
this
is
story.
clearly a joke. That's not a serious threat. But
It's
people
not
are
gonna
running around
happen.
going, "He threatened to sexually assault Bones." Like,
Oh my
no,
God,
stop it,
stop.
no. It's
Oh my
it's not even a
God.
threat, let alone a threat
No.
of sexual assault. It's a
Of
joke.
course. And I mean, in our everyday life, away from this, away from the internet, away from, our interactions here, like I say things like out of frustration or even just teasing, like I don't know, like I'm sure I've said to my husband, I'm sure I've said to a friend when they've done something like, "Oh my God, I'm going to kill you. Like you embarrassed
Yeah.
me," or "Why did you do that?" Or "Oh my gosh, you're pissing me off," right? They don't go run to the police department and get a restraining order because I said, "Oh, I'm going to kill you," because I'm frustrated over some stupid thing, or they've said it to me. And it's just like, but
level-
we're dealing with like, I don't know, maybe
The
low.
sheer level of candy ass is just
Mm.
increasing exponentially on YouTube as more and
Eh.
more big tough people go and get HOs on somebody that's
Mm-hmm.
several states away from them, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just
Yeah.
like stop. None of these people are like, fine, if somebody shows up at your fucking house and they're threatening you, okay, maybe that's time to take action.
Absolutely.
But I mean, if somebody's sitting on a live stream and saying shit you don't like and you're calling the cops over it, there's a problem. There's a problem. You need to
Yeah.
disengage a little bit.
And
Just a little bit.
And I don't think there's like I kind of I hear the people that say, like the people that are very caught up in the feeling victimized by other people on the internet. Like I don't know. I think then maybe if you're feeling unsafe, then maybe you need to log off. I know people don't like to hear that because they say, "Why should we be the ones to log off? They should be the ones that get." But you know what? You can't control them, you can only control yourself. So you're going to be the one that has to log off, collect yourself, and then determine, is this a quote unquote safe space for me? It's never going to be, hey, guess what, peeps? It's never going to be a safe space. You're not going to create a safe space on the internet. You are on the internet with a bunch of nameless, faceless people that you're never going to interact with in real life. And if it does come to that, then deal with it accordingly.
Here's another point, because I've seen this countless times on the internet and in real life. If you intend to go have action placed against someone, you must disengage with them from that point forward.
Absolutely.
You cannot sit there and do a live stream and talk about somebody and then wait for them to respond. And then when they respond, go, you're stalking me. I'm going to the cops. And when I go to the cops, I'll show them I've done 80 streams about you, but you've done 115 about me. Therefore, I win. And you're going to be arrested. The cops are going to take a look at that. And if there's back and forth tit for tat, they're going to go, fuck off. It's the internet. Go away. Leave us alone. Stop it. You have to disengage from these people. You can't keep baiting them and then try and sue them or get them arrested or get an HO, that kind of shit.
Could you imagine? I just could never, people get so worked up. Even with, I swore I wasn't going to give him attention, but with the COVID's thing and my comments in his chat, he was so triggered over me just not agreeing. Get over it.
Yeah, he did sort it out though. I mean, he figured it out. He reread it 3 times and figured out what you were trying to say. But yeah, I mean, remember, he was getting off 2 hours ago, but I think his panel's still going because now he's got the short bus. Well, dude, it's the short bus all-stars. You got an Insane Wayne and ASMR and Terry and a bunch of other people up there. That'll roll for a day and a half if they let it go.
Oh God, he was so worked up, and I was just like, "You are not getting it here, buddy. You missed the plot." And I was trying, but then I was like, "No, I cannot try anymore. I have to move on with my morning." So then I just had to disengage.
Well, I mean, look, he was up there castigating GD. He's like, GD came into my Discord, right? I got women with children in that Discord, and GD said something that's a threat. 30 seconds after that, Tonic hops up on his panel and starts talking about somebody's kid. He didn't say a word. And I get that, this is how this works, right? You pick and choose what you want to be offended by. But point is, pretty much everybody's done it at one point or another. If you're going to be honest with yourself, you've got to accept that this is how it goes here.
Yep. And I think we just have to remember that, again, of course we all have a bias when it comes to the people we interact with the most and stuff like that. But at the same time, you hit the nail on the head. It's you have to come to terms with okay, I'm not gonna be able to control everybody. And not only that, either take a position or don't, right? You don't always have to be the savior. And then, when it comes the women and children thing really pisses me off. I forget who said it. I think it was you, CC, that said, listen, we are all just people talking on the internet. Man, woman, doesn't make a difference. Single mother, married mother, rich, poor, it doesn't make a difference. We're all just talking on the internet.
We're equal. We're on equal footing.
Yes. We're not wrestling. We're not throwing the shot put.
We don't have weight classes. We don't have division rankings.
Yes. We're not looking at anybody's IQ. We're not looking at your GPA. Stop. We are all equal here.
Analyze the situation before you jump into it. If you've got a panel like COVID's had going when I came up here, don't jump up there and be the person going, excuse me, can I speak? Excuse me. Oh, you're dogpiling me. It's a pit of piranhas that are wound up over blood. You jump in there, you're going to take hits. You just got to not be serious about it. You got to accept that literally it's words. 90% of what everybody up here says is just bullshit to carry a joke, to get a laugh, to be funny. It's ball busting. It's all just, 90% of it's just ball busting. Calm down.
That's it. And that's how I look at it. I look at it as busting chops. There's very few times that I've listened to a panel and been whoa, this is serious. This is serious. People are going to get hurt. Very few times. I usually laugh and be oh my God, these maniacs, they're just talking shit, going back and forth. It's equal banter. I never ever in a million years, unless of course there's people that get dogpiled, but I think that you have to kind of pick and choose what panels you get on. If you know that there's going to be.
Abe will always get dogpiled because he asks for it and he's very bad at it. So yeah, Abe's, this is Honest Abe, not Evil Abe. Honest Abe will get dogpiled everywhere he fucking goes because I don't know if it's a mental defect or what, but he just asks for it. He just
And
doesn't
he
shut
kind of
up.
just,
And
yeah, and he kind of goes along with it though. Like I don't hear him like really like he'll say like, okay, now we dogpile, but he doesn't get like all like I don't know, maybe he does. He just sits and takes it. I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't like seem to get his
and then he goes and writes 400 cryptic community posts in 17 fonts and 12 colors
agree.
with bizarre emoji and tells you to read the code. Yet Summer Moon, that's another one I've always wondered about. Why
Yeah.
is a single mom deserving of more protection than a married mom when there's one of you on the internet?
Exactly. It is a very strange thing. And I don't know. I've been a single mom. I've been a married mom. I feel pretty much the same as I did when I was a single mom. I mean, I have the same career. I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like I never thought of myself as somebody that needed like people to protect me when it came to internet interactions. Like it just never crossed my mind. And if anybody ever did, I would laugh. I'd be like, you're kidding me. Please don't say that. Like that is embarrassing. Like why would you ever use that as a like a defense or something? I don't know. It's very strange. But I don't know. Maybe it is well, I don't think for everybody it's a don't know thing. I think for the single moms that maybe get on panels and cry how they're being victimized and they're a single mom and they have to take care of all these kids and blah, 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 maybe that's definitely for donations. That's that's a cash
lot of
grab
people
or
with hands
whatever.
out. A lot of people with
yeah.
hands out, man.
Oh, I
And
have. That's
look,
right. I have.
and
Look,
there's
my banner. My hand's out right now. I want to get
and there's
all the
plenty of
donors.
money in this motherfucking community. A guy who does nothing but shit on people said, "Hey, I want a computer." Got like $1,300. Got a desk, a computer, a chair, a new really good microphone and soundboard. The community is happy to throw money at people, but then hold on. Remember, if some people do it, well, we're just buying them stuff. If other people do, oh, it's grifting.
It's grifting. Yes.
Yeah.
There's never been an equal. We have a lot of pocket watchers, right? A lot of pocket watchers. I don't understand why people care so much what other. The only thing that ever bothered me was when somebody ran like a scam, right? Saying like, okay, I'm being evicted and I can't, feed my kids. Please help. Okay, and that be a complete lie. Then that's messed up. That needs to be called out.
The one that will really piss me off is when people claim they're collecting money for charities and then
Oh
it doesn't
God,
get there.
or that, of course, or that, absolutely. Like those things, that to me is just scamming garbage humans. But when somebody's just putting on a show and people are donating, whether it's by super chat or by a check, I don't know. Those things, why do you care? Why do you care what other people do with their money? I just never understood why that became such a. I mean, you have people that will fire up a live stream and be very, very forward and be like, listen, I'm here to provide entertainment, tip me, cash out, whatever, and that's that. Okay, fine. But if they're getting on there, like I said, lying about some sort of a need, that's a completely different animal. That's not, to me, that's just doing what you do.
Yep.
So 20, yeah, I guess. Have I been live an hour? That's usually my cutoff. I usually go about an hour or so.
57 minutes and 30 or 40 seconds.
Ooh, that's because you came up to kibitz a bit because I was
Time
kind
flies
of.
when you're having fun.
It does. I sort of I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way I'm built. I do kind of start to run out of steam, but I did stay up late last night. I did have another one of my liquid IVs this morning to participate in Alex's, which was so much fun. I love when Alex is like laughing. I don't know what it is. It just makes me laugh. Like when I hear her laughing and Kimmy being silly, you were up there. It was just a really, really fun stream. Like that's the kind of streaming that I like. I just kind of miss that. I feel like there used to be a little more of that, but maybe that was during the lockdowns and stuff. I don't know, when we had more time on our hands.
Oh yeah, I mean you can watch chat numbers are dropping. Like people who used to get 70 are now getting 40. And maybe that could be because the world is open and it's now spring, so it's turning nice, so people are doing shit. It could also be because we're limited number of streams now, not nearly as many people are streaming, and it's the same goddamn thing every night. Hey, bruh, will you pull up what I got in the basement, bruh? This is Connie freaking out in front of the courthouse. Let's play this 12 times tonight, bruh. That kind of shit. Like, I'm not going to stay up to watch a stream when I know it's going to be the same shit every night because I don't know. Maybe I just need more for my entertainment.
Yeah, it's boring.
If I can go read a book and hear something new, I'm going to go read the book.
Absolutely. I mean, there's times like I'll like be like, okay, of streaming, but I already know it's going to be about. And then I just look for, like, I don't know, I'll watch an old secular stream on Vaughn because it's more entertaining, you know, and just fall asleep listening to that, or an old stream from, you know, one of the bigger channels. Like, I don't know, I'd even would put Destiny on before some of the repetitive BS. Oh, that was interesting. The Destiny Lauren fallout. I don't know how many people saw that. That was wild. I did not expect that. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm waiting for the third act on that one. It's not over.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Cece.
I said
Say
I'm
it
waiting
again?
for the third act. I'm waiting for the third act. That's not over. I'm
Well, that, I
telling
think
you,
we- Cece cut
Lauren's
out.
going to come back. Lauren's going to come back with something with that.
Oh.
It's not done.
No, and this is a great, I mean, that got her a lot of attention. I don't know how much her channel grew after that, but to get him on a live stream to talk about their, you know, their whatever relationship you want to call it. I mean, he basically said she was starting to get too clingy, but not in so many words, and that he thinks she moved to Miami to be closer to him, and that she had
I think she did too.
I'm sure she did, and that he had to block her on everything to, like, because she wanted a relationship and he didn't. I was just like, Lauren, our Lauren, like, I was blown.
But this is what she
And I knew she'd
fucking
been
does.
orbiting. I know. I knew she'd been orbiting over there too.
It's the same thing she did with Shkreli. It's the same fucking thing she did with Martin Shkreli. She tried to get in his clout, and then when he got arrested and convicted, she suddenly accused him of doing weird things. And then after he got out, suddenly she forgot about all of that. It's what she did with that doctor in LA, where she inserted herself into that shit.
What she said
Now
about
she's-
Destiny. Yeah, and
he illegally
recording
records people in his
secretly.
bedroom.
Yeah,
like what
that
the
was
fuck,
terrible.
Lauren?
All right, Cece, I'm gonna wrap up. We gotta go do some.
right.
Me and the little one have to go do our makeup. So we're gonna go do that and have a little fun with that, and then go hang out outside with the chickens. So I appreciate you coming up, and thank you for everybody in chat and hanging out and having a fun kibitz. And I'll see everybody next time.
Yeah. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, everybody.
You too. Bye, and happy Mother's Day, all the mamas. Bye.